Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. This is How to Invest. Spencer here, and I'm bringing you this one on QuantumScape after a crazy amount of views I got on I first posted about this stock. So let's hop right into it. In recent news, there has been another $100 million invested by Volkswagen. You can see the article here. QuantumScape meets Volkswagen technical milestone clearing for a $100 million investment. We look at this, not really a big deal, considering their market capitalization is $18 billion, which is quite rich for a company that is pre-revenue, as I said in my initial video. So if we look up QuantumScape, here are some articles just about the new investment by Volkswagen, and let's go ahead and take a look at what this bearish article has to say. QuantumScape is still overvalued today after giving Volkswagen free money. Oh, seems pretty interesting. Free money. Let's take a peep at that. Recently, QuantumScape agreed to hand over $1.3 billion in free money to QuantumScape. How? They granted the German company another 15 million shares of QS stock, or QuantumScape, for a second $100 million investment. This was after QS solid-state lithium battery passed some technical hurdles. I love how they just kind of pass over, oh yeah, they're doing all right on their batteries, but, they're just giving away free money. 15 million shares of QuantumScape, if you multiply that out by their stock price, which is 47, 15, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 times 47, you get $705 million, which is huge, which is still about under where they said 1.3 is. So I'm not sure where they're getting quite that number. Maybe the stock price was a little bit higher when they posted this. As a result, Volkswagen only had to pay out about $6.57 per share to pick this battery stock. Based on April 1st stock price, that makes their total $200 million investment of QuantumScape for 30 million shares is now worth over 1.5 billion. So they're getting 30 million because they already had 15 million. On April 1st, QuantumScape stock closed at $49 per share. Like I said, that is essentially a free grant of money to Volkswagen. So of course the German company was not able to say the technical specs were missed when, after all, they could collect another $750 million for their latest $100 million investment. That's a solid 650% return on investment for Volkswagen. Who wouldn't agree to that? I think most people not wanting to commit fraud, because if you're telling shareholders and people who own QuantumScape or Volkswagen that, oh, yeah, this company is doing great, and they're passing our inspections, that this company can build a solid-state battery and can be in every single EV car that is sold, then I think people would be a little bit misled, and there have been already some accusations about overly stating what they're capable of the share price and to the shareholders. So I don't think they'd want to willingly commit fraud, is what this guy's saying. He's like, oh, yeah, they could just give free money just by saying, oh yeah, they have a good technology. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. And also, I would like to point out that they're collecting shares of this company. Like, it's not free money. This company could go to zero. This company could go bankrupt, and they would have no money. So the fact that they're securing shares in this company proves that Volkswagen is extremely bullish on this company. They have 30 million shares. This company only has, if we look at the statistics over here, they only have 200 million shares. So they have like over 15% of the total shares of this company, which is huge. They have a 15% stake in a company. I just think this guy's a little lost when he's analyzing it. He's making a lot of bear points that I just think are way too bullish. So he goes on here. QS stock and outsized valuation. my point here is that QuantumScape's market capitalization has skyrocketed well above expectations because Volkswagen deal was put together. Well, I don't disagree from that. 18 billion is pretty rich. I will say so myself that they are pre-revenue, but I think a lot of people are looking at the TAM of this company in 2024 or 2025, which they are on target to make. So part of the reason that could be the company has much fewer shares outstanding than they originally proposed. For example, on the slide deck of the original pre-merger special purpose acquisition company, or SPAC, QuantumScape was supposed to have 447 million shares. So this is another reason why I don't see the offerings that they had, that I said in my last videos, are so negative, that they might be diluting the company slightly. I think they offered 13 million shares, but they were originally supposed to have, when it was Kensington Acquisition Company, or KCAC, before they bought or merged with QuantumScape, they were supposed to have almost 450 million shares, and they're still at less than half of that. So I think people are just kind of misinterpreting a lot of the data here. However, when it gets close to the merger back in November, there were only some 218 million shares. That's a quarter, and it's only gone down since then. If we look here, shares outstanding. Well, it's gone up 6 million, which is nothing. 6 million with, I think they've done 3 offerings since then. So soon after April 1st, the company filed another proposal to saying that there are now 306 million shares outstanding, and it had picked up another 208 million from warrants that were exercising at $11.50. I assume this does not include 11.6 million shares raised at $40. That is the offering that they are stating. That's an advertisement. Oh, no, it's not. This is an advertisement. Therefore, there are now 330 million shares, including 15 million Volkswagen shares. That gives QuantumScape a market capitalization of 16 billion based on April 1st. Compared to the stock price of the original slide deck, which was 447 million shares, that implied the market capitalization would be 22 billion, or almost 35% higher. So my point is that QuantumScape may have miscounted. 330 million shares outstanding lowers its market value by 1/3. That has led to a rise in the stock price. Moreover, QuantumScape's forecast of 471 million in cash, but add 208 million from warrants and 100 million from Volkswagen to forecast that the sum is 780 million, and about 66% more than foreseen, which is, again, bullish points. I don't really get what he's trying to say. If this company is worth less than people thought it was going to be, to buy more. If you thought it was going to be worth 22 billion when it went public, buy more. It's 18 billion. You give $4 billion free. That's a I think 15% increase. Take that free 15%. I don't really get what this guy's trying to say. So what to do with the stock? As it stands, the EV sales to forecast for 2027, that's looking at pretty far, shows that QS stock could trade for less than 5 times per sale. I don't believe that. EV market's supposed to grow at least until 2040, double digits. This company is supposed to be the best battery maker in the market. If they're going to have, let's say, even just a 50% market share, since they're so much better, which is extremely rich, obviously, even a double digit, 10 digit, like a 10% market share is huge for most companies in their field. But let's be hypothetically say it's 50% market share, then this company, their price to earnings is not going to be 5, or price to sales. It's going to be much higher. If we look at a high price to sales company, let's go to Shopify. Ticker symbol SHOP. They're historically known recently for being a high PE, high price to sales, high value metrics. Go to statistics. Their price to sales is 48. 48. You know why? Because the stock or the company's growing drastically. I think QuantumScape could grow more in this year, or in 2027, have a higher growth projection than QuantumScape than Shopify currently. This guy, I just completely disagree with a lot of what he is writing. So QuantumScape forecast of 3.12 billion in sales by the end of 2027, which I think is extremely bearish. In its slide presentation, well, obviously they're going to be bearish in their own slides because they want to outperform. That's the best way to make money from Wall Street is outperform your estimates. And I think they're sandbagging those numbers. This raises the EV sale to a 12.5 multiple. That is high, but is not as much as it used to be. For comparison, in my previous article, I estimated QuantumScape's 2027 EV sales ratio as discounted basis was 15 times higher. In other words, the stock would be 20% cheaper. So he's saying in 2027 the stock will still be cheaper. But its valuation is still high. For instance, the slide deck for the company shows peers of 6.9 times EV to sales on this year's forecast, and that will be much cheaper on a 7 years outlook. I don't think so, because I still think that the EV market will be growing exponentially by 2027. I think even up until 2030, until up and through 2040, the EV market's going to be booming because it's not just going to be this light switch flip of, oh, we're not going to buy ICE vehicles anymore. You really think gas stations are going to go away by 2027 and they're really just going to stop growing this company? They're just going to stop growing drastically or stop innovating or stop improving their battery? They're going to have the best battery in the game if they operate and really utilize the technology that they're talking about and say that they can. So the bottom line, the market valuation of QuantumScape is unreasonable. I don't disagree, considering they don't have revenue, but they are looking on a multi-year outlook, which happens to plenty of stocks. And that is the end of the article. So my thoughts on this. So global EV sales, according to Forbes, just on the quick blurb. I don't want to click on it because if you do, it will ask you to subscribe or get rid of ad block, which I do not want to do. From 2017 to 2018 was 2 million vehicles, and that was a 65% increase. They find EV sales will hit 10% of global sales by 2025. So total global sales the past year was 80 million. If we project out, oh, this was 2017. If we project out that total global sales will be 100 million cars in 2025, then 10% will be 10 million vehicles. There are 10 million vehicles, and they have a 50% market share. They are selling into 5 million vehicles. And that is way higher than whatever he was saying. I forget the number. I think it was in the twos that they would be able to sell by 2027. So it's over double in less time. Now, of course, the 50% I said was quite generous, but it could be as high as 100% if this is really the best battery in the game. Right now, every single EV maker buys third-party batteries. Tesla, a lot of people think, oh, their battery technology. They use Panasonic batteries. Like, they do not use their own batteries, and they do not develop their own technology. They're not really focused on that. They're focusing on scaling the amount of cars that they can build because they have a crap load of demand. People want to buy Tesla. They're not making money off innovating their battery. Now, I think it could be a good idea, but I think they're really behind the eight ball compared to QuantumScape currently. So I don't think it'd be feasible for them to create their own at this point in time. So this number could be as high as 10 million cars in 2025, or even higher if this estimate is bearish, because this was from a couple years ago. Oh, well, it's from 2020, but these numbers are from a couple years ago. If we look at the calculator and we do just say 5 million, or what was it? 50 million cars. And we do 50 million. 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we times that by, so average car price for EVs around $50,000. Most of the price of the car will be in the battery. So we'll say $25,000 per battery. 25,000. Oh, that's one too many. There we go. Equals, oh, that's too big of a number. as you can see, just obscene amounts of revenue. They'd be in the trillions of numbers if we're looking at global sales on just a bullish standpoint. No means are these reasonable numbers that I'm trying to put out here, but this is a bull case for QuantumScape if they are able to capitalize on the technology, and if they're even able to get a tenth of that, if they're able to get 10% of total addressable market or the market share of EV and electric vehicle batteries, then they will be easily over $100 billion company. And I have no doubts when I say that. But the big kicker is if they're able to capitalize on the technology that they're boasting. That is yet to be seen. They are still in early stages. They only have 4 cells put together, and they need up to 36. So we will let them try and do their research, and we will see what happens and keep looking at the stock price as it does. Again, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, definitely give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and have a good one.